Hello Reds, welcome back to United Daily Buzz. Jamie Carragher theory about Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim might be true. Man United have dominated headlines since losing 3-1 to Brentford in the Premier League last weekend. Manchester United fans look away. Jamie Carragher might be right about Ruben Amorim. United supporters may not pay attention to what Liverpool legend Carragher has to say, but he's one of the best pundits on television, and his theory about why Amorim has not been sacked could be true. There's been intense discussion about Amorim's future again since the defeat to Brentford last weekend. Amorim could not take the opportunity to win back-to-back Premier League games for the first time, although United sources have insisted he still retains the backing of the board. That has not stopped the debate among fans and in the media, so it was inevitable that Sky Sports would broadcast a segment on Amorim's future during their Monday night football show. Carragher said, "I think he's still in a job because I think the powers that be at Manchester United have made that many mistakes so far with the decisions they've made on and off the pitch that they do not want to admit right now that they have made another." This has been a disaster for Manchester United, but also for Ruben Amorim. What he did at Sporting Lisbon was fantastic. He looked like the next big thing as a manager, but bringing a manager like that in with the system he plays, I don't think ever suited a club like Manchester United with the traditions at Manchester United. Like, the quicker they make the decision on the manager, the better for everybody, because like I said, it has been a disaster for the club and the manager. We are just waiting for the inevitable, unfortunately, because you don't want people to lose their jobs. But this has to end as quickly as possible. He continued, "I've never been a big one for saying he has to change his system. A lot of managers speak and say the system might change, but my style does not. His baby is his system. It is like asking Jurgen Klopp not to press or Pep Guardiola not to play short passes through the middle of the pitch. This is what he is. This is on Omar Barada or Jason Wilcox or Jim Ratcliffe. They brought him in. They knew that when they brought him in. The problem for Ruben Amorim is that every other Premier League manager would look at it and say, I could do a better job than that. The only positive for Manchester United is that they have not gone all in on his system. They have gone all in terms of giving him money to spend, but they have not bought lots of centre-backs and lots of wing-backs. The players they have brought in could easily be flipped into a back four with Bruno Fernandes as a number 10, Bomo on the right wing, Cunha on the left, Sesko up front, and I think a competent Manchester United manager could get that team into the European places or certainly be fighting for them. Carragher's argument about United chiefs persevering with Amorim because he was their appointment has merit. It seems likely he would have already been sacked if he'd been hired by a previous regime. Barada, the CEO, was responsible for appointing Amorim. Wilcox, director of football, has been the driving force behind recruitment since Ratcliffe gained control of football operations last year. Barada and Wilcox should be scrutinised if the decision is eventually taken to sack Amorim. They are paid handsomely to make the most important decisions and could face consequences. It would reflect badly on the pair if Amorim were to fail, and all the signs indicate that he must now overcome a mountain to turn the club around after a disappointing start to the season. You cannot keep a manager in a job to prevent embarrassment in the boardroom. Having said that, it's understandable that Barada and Wilcox want to give Amorim as much time as possible. They are desperate for him to succeed, for the club and for themselves. It was fascinating to hear Wilcox speak at a recent event for ex-players at Old Trafford, where he said, "This club is a wonderful club. I just pray we get the opportunity to turn it around." Wilcox is a close Ratcliffe ally. He has been empowered at United since joining from Southampton, but that comment suggested even Wilcox knows his position could be under threat. Ratcliffe demonstrated his ruthlessness when Dan Ashworth was dismissed. Ashworth oversaw the decision to keep Eric Ten Hag after the FA Cup final and paid the price for that decision. That suggests there could be a further boardroom shake-up if Amorim faces the axe this season.